See in the place to be.
How is it going, my friend?
It's going, bro. It's going.
Nice. Are you long?
I'm in no trades. This is the price action's kind of crap today, man. Oh, my camera's not working. Let me see if I can fix it here. It's very jump here, jump there. Happy weekend. Hopefully you had a good weekend, bro. How was your weekend? Did you do anything special?
Not that much, but since my wife is not around right now, today is my anniversary with her of boyfriend and girlfriend. And I asked her for a
Oh,
big how do you call that? Bunch of flowers. Does it has a name?
bouquet.
Bouquet. Absolutely. So I asked her for a little bit of a bouquet of her favorite flowers, and they should be coming out right in here. Other than that, we went to grab some sandwiches out. So we went out of dinner, grabbed some sandwiches, some gourmet sandwiches, and they were pretty good. But other
Ooh.
than that, yeah, I mean, I just stood at home, watching my series, went over, just watched the took 2 or 3 shorts. And other than that, today I'm just woke up like peacefully. Everything is all right. Man, it's been a chill out day. I loved it. I love it. How was your weekend?
Nice. Good, good. My mom flew in from Ontario, so like 5 hour flight for it's my son's birthday this week on Thursday. He's turning 1.
Wow.
Yeah, man. Already.
Yeah.
So fast, bro. Uh
So fast.
and then we went for a walk yesterday by the mountains. Here's a picture.
Holy shish. Man, that is
Yeah,
that is
bro.
like taking out for a movie set. Oh my god, that's
and
fantastic. I love it.
yeah, so she's visiting and we're hanging out with grandma now and uh yeah, things are good. Things are good, man. Just hanging out here. Took a couple of trades this morning. I shorted VWAP this morning, and then obviously I got stopped out. So I'm I'm break even for the day. I managed to scalp back into profits. Uh, Looking for this thing to push back a little bit, but obviously big dump over the weekend, which is good as we expected. I think you and me have been. I think for 2 weeks now, we warned everybody that we were going to get a correction. If they listened, they should be okay. If they didn't listen, they probably fucked. And either way, that's okay. I mean, sometimes, like me, very much like me, you got to learn the hard way. Uh, but it's been a uh, good trading week. Last week I had a really good week. Last week I had a $5,300 week last week, so we crushed it last week. Just looking at Bitcoin here, trying to push back. I would like to see a retest of the lows. So I'm looking for a little bit of relief here, bro. Just looking for us to come back up into here, just because of this big dump here over the weekend. Okay. So can we get above orb and start pushing? A little bit of a retracement into breaking people's hearts again would be nice. Okay. We can go over the trading this morning. Let's go into the 3 minute time frame here. And as you can see, we've clearly just broken down over the weekend. We got bullish divergence in here, a nice spring. Okay. Price action. I shorted here and got stopped out. Oh man. Yeah. That's okay, man. Caught the top perfectly. VWAP. Okay, we have VWAP and then we have sweep of the highs in here. So you have sweep of the high here, straight across. And yeah, I got stopped out, which is part of it. It because it was right on market open OC, right? So you can see you got 2 candles here. Right at market open. So you got 2 candles. The second one got me, man. So I got literally short right here, and then this one came back. I put stop loss to entry, looking for continuation down, and this one got me. So I was a bit pissed off. Uh, and then I think I went long. I went long for a retest of the highs in here. Very, very tight stop loss. and I lost $200 here. Then I was able to scalp long here on the way up. Doji engulfing trade. Took that long up to here. Made it $200 back. So I'm even Steven, break even today, and just seeing if we can wait. Very weird pump here. This is very weird in my opinion. I thought we would be breaking down here, and this just look at this. Look at this, like up only for like, I don't know, very weird in here. So I don't know what's going on with the price action. We'll see what goes on, but very choppy. Obviously, if we go on to like a 15-minute time frame and we look at this, it's the story is pretty easy. Okay, we're just in a range here, so buy low, sell high, right? If we're looking at like areas, that's where I was looking for the resistance this morning. We obviously got rejected. We're getting rejected twice now. I got a buy level just here at 14,500, let's call it. Looking for a sweep of the low, so I am looking for this and go. But we haven't got that yet. Haven't swept that liquidity yet, so we might be still sideways here. When we're looking at I guess let's go to like an 8 hour so we can get it all in here. When we're looking at this, so the warning sign, right? We said they're going to make you happy and then they're going to make you cry, right? This was our warning sign. We said this is probably going to happen, right? So we said this is our dump right here that we were saying we're going to get hopium and then we're going to crash, right? This happens time and time and time again, right? So we've been showing you guys this since we were back here, right? We've been showing you guys that here, right? We've been showing it to you guys along the way, all the way up. I don't know how many times I've been showing you guys this pattern right here, okay? I said they're going to sell you a dream, okay? They sold it really good, bro. I'll give it to them. You know, they sold it. They gave you all-time highs, bro. They make you FOMO so hard, and then they dumped it on your ass. Okay, pretty wild. But we were prepared, right? We were prepared. We said they're probably going to do something along the likes of this. Can we sweep the lows? Absolutely, right? Looking to defend first and foremost 110. That area in here is like our first level of defense. Then we have another big area of defense at 105. A lot of volume in here too. So those would be my two areas that we want to see defended by the bulls. Okay. But you know, if we zoom out, the concern is here, and I'm sure OC is going to tell you guys all about the bearish divergence on the higher term time frame. He's smiling. But we do have a confirmed peak seeker bearish divergence on the top of, and a blue dot. Yeah, on the daily time frame. So this looks like shit, guys. If we're supposed to make it light, that's light, okay? It doesn't look good. Because what happens, right? With bearish divergence, they typically return to where they started. That means we're returning into here, into this range, typically, okay? However, the only thing that we do have on our side, right, and what we must understand, and we do this every day, but weekly, daily, right? 12 hour, 4 hour, 1 hour, 15 minutes, okay? And we always want to identify a trend. Weekly is up. Daily, I would say, is still up. Okay, we still have this low in here. So daily is still up. 12 hours now down. 4 hours down. 1 hour is down. 15-minute looking now. 15-minute is up right now. Okay? So always understanding. This is still strong. Right? Higher time frames always going to favor higher time frames. Why? Because of trend, right? We want to catch this trend if we're swing traders, okay? Shorter term time frames, this looks nasty right now. And if this continues to persist and we lose this low here, that would be the daily loss there, not the weekly. The weekly actually is pretty good. We have all the way down to the low right here. Okay, so we have till 98,000 on the weekly. Okay, so the weekly, the trend is still intact. The daily's that threat. If we lose 112 here, okay, The 12-hour has been broken. You can see the low lost here. Okay, that's your low on your 12-hour. So that's how I typically, will plan out what I think is going to happen. Looks like we are getting a little push right now. The 50-minute is up, right? The 50 minutes up. I'm looking for relief into the highs up into here, right? This is a very aggressive dump, right? Very aggressive. So with anything like this, you want to be very aware that, can we come back only to continue, right? If this, then that. Always if this, then that, as I always say, right? We always want to be maximizing our risk management, taking profits early, especially on if we're trying to get long in this area, okay? That's very key. So what do I mean by that? Let me delete all the Etch-a-Sketch out of here so that you guys can see what I'm talking about, okay? So when we're talking about that, right? So the 4-hour trend is down. And I do remember giving you guys the sell wall here. And how do we identify why we want to sell here, right? It's actually really easy. It's actually a perfect short setup over the weekend. Obviously, I was looking at mountains, so I didn't give two shits about the short setup on the weekend. But what do we have here? So how do we get this level here to go short, right? It's something we can all learn from, right? So we go swing high to swing low, impulse down to the low, right? So we got a 786. Okay, this is our first level. Because we have already taken our golden pocket right here, we're looking at our 786. We also have a revisit of the lows and an order block in here, okay? So that's why I was looking in this area here. You can see how price stalls out right in here. Why is this locked? That's weird. Right in here. You can see that order block right there. So I'm going to drag that across, right? 786, retest of the lows in here. Okay. Now, what do we get into this area, right? 3 drives, bearish divergence, right? We can all see that. So this is perfect warning sign. Just like we showed you guys on last week on ETH, right? 1, 2, 3. What are we looking for after we sweep? We're looking either acceptance into the range. We can short there, stop loss above the high. Or we're looking for a break-ish structure and a retest of the lows. You got 2 chances. Look at this. Go to the lows, right? Look at this. 2 chances to short this thing. Okay? Right? So you come up 3 drives. You break structure. So that is a break of structure. Right? That break of structure says, hey, dummy, 3 drives into a resistance zone. Says, hey, MJ, hopefully you're doing well. Thank you so much for putting up with OC for so long. Look at him. He's got his flower. So we're looking for a retest. This tells me that I can look for a short. Okay. Short goes through. Big old dump to the downside, right? Obviously, this happens around 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, so some people might not have caught it, but that was it right there. Okay, so just so you guys understand how to take that short. And why do we look for this short? Well, we look for the short because we have broken structure, like we talked about all the way in Thursday. PPI data, okay? Losing the liquidity in the lows. Next target is to come for the liquidity in these lows, right? We talked about that as well. So we break down ABC, down we go, right? Can we bounce back? That's always the question, right? So that was the short in here. Down we go. Now looking at this here, what we can see, and what's important to note as well, is if we're looking at this area, what have we done? We have, in this area, we have actually lost the value area low, which is actually kind of bad, okay? In this area, I would say from here to here, this would be more, accurate in the sense of where price likes to trade. We've definitely lost it, okay? So accumulation, manipulation, like we talked about, accumulation, manipulation, distribution. Now we have correction. Okay, so A, B, C. Will we bounce here? I'm not your dad. I don't know. Okay, what we do use is structure in here to justify taking a trade. Remember, we can look for longs in a downtrend, but we should be aware that they may be small. Okay, we can still look for longs in here, but we should be taking profits pretty aggressively. And yes, sometimes they'll run and there'll be reversals, right? And sometimes they'll just be short. So short-lived, maybe, or reversal. We don't know. But we participate safely with good risk management. And if we are going counter trend, we should be taking profits early. Okay? Just so you're aware. But for me, whenever I see a big gap like this, I look for halfway up the candle to be recovered at minimum. 116, let's call it. 116, 117. Okay? We'll see if we do recover it. We do have some volume in here in our way, so we'll have to wait and find out. Looking at our predictive ranges. Where's my predictive ranges? Come on. I think I got a new strategy for predictive ranges. I might have to show OC first before I show you guys, though. Jeez, that's far away, man.
It is a little bit. Double click on them. And your configuration, is it standard? Should be default, right? You can change it instead of chart. You're in the 30 minutes. You can change it to one time frame low. So you can turn it to, I don't know, 15 minutes, or you can change it to the 1 hour, and that will give
Okay,
you.
that makes sense.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that will give you
I like the
less
12-minute
volatile.
better.
Nice. Oh, this is still even moved far away. I see. That means a lot of volatility.
Yeah, because we want to see us come into here. Wow. Yeah. So retest our previous lows. Exactly where I'm looking. So if we're gonna get relief, I'm looking for that. That doesn't mean we can't get a higher low and push out. I'm not saying that, we can't bounce. I'm just saying this is what I'm looking for. If not, we're looking for a continuation down. Where are the targets down below? Let me get rid of these. So you can see you got a 111,800 there. I have levels, for me as a scalper, I have very tight levels because, we like it tight. I'm looking at 114.5. Okay. Hey, don't be rude.
I'm sorry, I don't say anything.
113.7 and 112.7. Okay, guys? And we're looking here. What are you looking at, OC? You silly mad. Oh, man.
Man, it's already
Monday, bro. He's already starting.
Lord, I just need to say that I love to work with you.
It is his
really
anniversary.
Appreciate you.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, dude, it's just like going to the school once again, sitting at the back of the class, to make a little bit of
He's throwing erasers at the teacher.
Sort of. But just so you know, on my time, teachers actually throw you things back, and who get yelled at was you, not the teacher. So the worst thing was the wooden eraser. Man, that thing really, really freaking hurt when it hit you in the forehead.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Oh, yeah. Well, I'm looking at a couple of stuff in here. Let me go first for the, let me show, what is it right here. I'm going to get started with Solana. Solana, I'm looking to enter a possible long, not quite right now, but there's a couple of things in here. I'm going to then orbit back into Bitcoin, but hear me out. Oh, by the way, you also can see that I'm looking into boom arms, by the way. I'm looking, because I broke mine, and I have a, where is it? A little contraction that I made myself. All right. So while gaming, by the way, I got also a new controller, headsets. I'm just missing somebody to shoot at. Alex.
Good luck.
Love it, love it. All right, so going back to into trading stuff. All right, so we already have a dead cat bounce. Remember that I was looking at first this trend line right down here. Let me see if I can zoom in into it. So let's bring up chunky candles. Here's what I was expecting, maybe some breakout of these areas, right? So I was looking for that possible long, which actually played out very, very nicely. That long was playing out all the way till, remember, TP number 1 in here. By the way, I don't think that you saw this target, and then TP2 was right there. Nonetheless, as soon as we got our first candle body and wick in the green, that's where we move our stop to entry. Very nice, right? And then coming back down on this rejection, well, then as we had our flip of the ribbon coming back down with confirmation, we enter for a short. The short is already played out. I'm still already have taken 50% out. Why? Because that is my target right here, dynamic reactor, right? Don't worry if you do not caught this. You also see that I have another possible long in here. So this is the thing, all right? Things seems like haven't finished dropping, but we are in a bunch of confluence. I actually was thinking that we're gonna be having this huge week or body, and then have another one consequently, right? So I was thinking, well, if I can have those two, look at that. If I move them all around, I'm gonna be getting to my next confluence zone, basically entering, and this move out of my way. There we go. Eventually, basically entering right there where it should have. All right. The point is that we did not, the actual dynamic reactor money flow POC were very, very, very strong and stopped that huge body candle right here from keep falling. That is telling me something, right? That is telling me, hey, this is a wall. So should I be longing this? And this comes to a surprise for me because, I mean, the next big support zone was supposed to be there. So I'm a little puzzled here. What I'm going to be going for is just waiting for this candle to close. And based on that candle, we'll be looking for that flip of the ribbon right down here. All right. That is what I'm going to be jumping for my, thank you, honey. Love it. Going for my, for a possible long. But if we start moving downwards, you have my next setup. In fact, let's add an alert together. And you'll see that I'm always very bad at adding those alerts. And that's on purpose. I always have a wiggle room, a buffering room, something that lets me stand up from what I'm doing and then go into the charts and start looking back again for my actual entry. Important here, let's go back to Bitcoin and then start rolling back down into altcoins. As Alex mentioned, I will be talking all over the place about the bearish diversions. These bearish diversions first was caught, up to my knowledge, for Piper. He went in a morning market report. He went, "Hey, OC, have you seen the new bearish diversion?" I'm like, "What? Already?" Because last time he called me and told me about the weekly divergence. Well, we not only did had a little bit of a retracement, but the previous one that we had, first one created this drop, and second one creating this drop. So are we safe? Well, let me show you that right here we created one and we have a small drop. Right here we created another one and we have a bigger drop. So the third one is the charm. Are we going to be having this dropping here? If so, let me first comment couple of things. My target from Bitcoin was 500K for my best case scenario. All right, so let's get that out of the way. It's not clickbait, but also that was the. I mean, I had like 3 different scenarios for highs, and the first scenario for high was not an actual target, was actually structure. All right, so let me talk about that in a second. But my biggest target, and that's the one I went with the video that you all may already have seen, where we call out highs, right? Well, that was the 500K. I did mention we're gonna be trading this as it goes, but as the time has passed, I've copied this candle size or this candle structure, all right, and then grab it and paste it in here. All right, we not only have following to the T with a little bit of early breakouts. By the way, I need to mention that. In fact, you know what? Why am I just telling you when I can actually show you? Let's go and grab my Gauss candles. Let's go over here, if I'm not mistaken. And this time, I cut it out here, but this time, let's cut it out farther through, all right? And there it is. So basically going back down like this, all right? And I was expecting, there we go, that breakout of this candle. And let me just hide this one right here. This breakout of this candle happening 1 to 3 weeks after, but it played out 2 weeks, 3 weeks earlier. All right. Look at that. And then I did extended this. Oh, not this one. I extended this a little bit higher, like this. There we go. And then we'll be following this to the T. So I was expecting to have a higher high and then a big drop. All right. Important. I've been talking about this, and let me go to the 12 hours really quickly to make that statement. I've been talking about and teaching you guys how when we start dropping, and let me just get this out of the way because I'm also going to be touching on that. When we start dropping is because we don't have enough market cap, all right? We come back down. Let's get started here, right? We come back down. We drop. We have enough market cap. We create that beautiful balloon dog that Alex have taught us. And then, boom, shakalaka, all right? What happens when we just don't have enough market cap, all right? Well, we create the same drop, range to the outside. Just a little bit important, it doesn't play it out this way, but usually down ranges, break to the upside, up ranges, break to the downside, all right? So just so you have it in your radar. But in this case, we don't have enough market cap and we failed, all right? Once again, we don't have here enough market cap and we fail, all right? We don't have enough market cap and we fail, all right? So, and as the time goes by, once all of the weak hands have been shaken and there's no one there to sell Bitcoin, well, we do have just a market cap that is there and there's no one selling. There's only those that want to accumulate more. So we build up market cap and we pump. We build up market cap and we pump. We build up market cap and we pump. All right. So what is the underline? The underline is the range size. All right. We range to consolidate a market cap scenario. We range, we have enough market cap and we pump. All right. And if we look at that into a 4 days or a weekly standpoint, the range is right here. All right. So we range right here. We have enough market cap. We pumped. We're trying to range in here. We did not have enough market cap and we dropped. All right. But right here, what if this is what we're making? Let me just get rid of this. What if our range is this one here, right? That would also make sense for us to get back somewhere around 100K or 90K. Remember the same exact area that I've been talking about and that Alex also has been saying, hey, it's possible that we get there if I'm not mistaken. And that is because liquidity has been left out in these zones. So coming back down all the way to 100K, it is still in the table, guys. All right. So I'm saying this because we have a bearish divergence. We're breaking some trend lines, but also do not miss the actual size of right now's movement. I mean, this is a big drop twice. Right? Is this a big drop? Are you really fucked? Or are you just fucked because you bought the top? All right. So ask yourself that question. So all-time highs, and by the way, I bought all-time highs. All right. And somehow I made profits on it. How we did it, we just set a stop loss. And when the stop loss gets hit, we wait for the re-entry. We trade the bounce up. We short the continuation down. And that is how, even if you buy stop loss, if you buy the top, having a stop loss will benefit you from not getting stuck in there. And still, even if your stop loss is very well calculated, on the rebound, close your losing trade in a little bit of profits, right? So coming back into the next thing, I was explaining with Piper. Let me just bring it up here. Where is it? Ethereum, Bitcoin. There we go. That when you start looking for, let me just get rid of everything here. Perfect. Then when you try to draw a trend line like this and you see that the thing is just not hitting the trend line, not only that, is getting more air, and then you need a secondary trend line to actually be looking for that continuation trade. This means that you will still need another trend line. You see how that trend lines start opening up into like a fan shape, all right? This fan shape, it's very common on a Fibonacci cycle, all right? Which means that you're not into a trend, a casual one-to-one trend. You are into a parabolic trend. What is a parabolic trend? Really quick, I know this is a little nerdy, but I think it's important to show it today. Right? We have our let me see if I can get you, Alex. You got me on in Halo, and let me see if I can get you on math. All right. So what is your Y, and X line? Horizontal. Your horizontal is your what? And guys, I'm also looking at you guys right there in the chat. Let me know. Horizontal is your X or Y?
Is your 0?
My 0 is right here.
It's your X.
Exactly. Yes. You got it. Yes. Exactly. Oh, man.
I'm good at math, smart. Man. I know my parabolas. I know a squared plus b squared equals c squared. We can go, bro. We got Sakatoa, man. We got...
love it.
We got quadratics.
Oh man,
I know, because I have to deal with your architecture asses all the time.
And I need to come out clean. I was a little malicious today when I was saying, I'm gonna get Alex today. I'm gonna get him. Well, I wasn't able.
I love a challenge.
Love it. So here's your X and here's your Y. It doesn't really matter. I just was messing with Alex. All right, so it doesn't matter, guys. But the point with a... And let me explain this. When you are having a trend line, your trend line usually is steady, right? Which means that if you grow 1 unit to your right, you grow 1 unit to the top, all right? That means for every position taken to your right, every trader has been taking that position, which means your position has been filled up. Have you ever had that kind of candles like this that they skip you and you never enter on that trade because they skip your entry? That is when a parabolic movement happens, all right? So when you have a parabolic movement that usually plays out like this, all right, what happens when you go like this? When you go parabolic, what is when you're going parabolic? When you lose your no return point. You don't really need to know that other than look at where am I drawing that parabolic zone. I'm going to get to it, and this is very interesting, all right? But the parabolic means that we are going to infinite. Can we go to infinite price of Bitcoin? No. Can we go to infinite price of something else? No. Exactly, Dagat. You got it, brother. Yes. So when you're getting basically vertical price action right here, that's when things start crumbling apart, because you cannot get to infinite on money. There's just not infinite money value to be added to Bitcoin. Even whatever happens, we're just not ready to get there, which means that for every X that you're moving, you're skipping 1 Y. That's why you're not one-to-one ratio. You are parabolic, all right? And having said that, where is your parabolic start to crumble? Right here. If you do a Fibonacci, let's try to make it. Maybe see, I haven't done this, but I guarantee you this is going to be playing out. There you go. You go and measuring the retracement on the parabolic trend. You have your... Look at that, your your golden pocket retracement, where the parabolic start to crumble. And I free-handed this, man. All right, guys. So look at how well that plays out when we're factoring actual money and traders in numbers. All right. So if you haven't learned Fibonacci, make sure you watch Alex L. Crypto's videos, and also you come to these classes because we show you how to do that. All right. Having said that, we have a way to calculate the parabolic breakout and liquidity grab outs. All right. First, just simple, very simple. When you start seeing long ranges, that is because people start looking for sell high, buy low. All right, sell high, buy low. And when it moves, there was some liquidity left behind. All right, there was a push positions opens. And then as we come back down, look at that, where we come back down to grab some of that liquidity on the previous range. All right. Having said that, this is a parabolic movement, and we come back to the 50%, 33% retracement. 50% retracement and golden pocket. Look at those three. Those are the magic numbers, all right? If you haven't heard it. So 33 retracement, that is my style, by the way. It's not in a book. What is it? 50%, that is a Fibonacci, and golden pocket, which is a Fibonacci-ish retracement. Having said that, let's go back in opening up our what is it, Gauss trend crossing. All right, you'll see that in this case, nothing is playing out, and I'm doing that on purpose. That is because we don't have the base of the parabola. So this thing is actually parabolic measurement. It will help you understand where we're going to be breaking and going from bullish parabolic or retracement parabolic, all right? Because this is a retracement parabolic. This is a retracement parabolic to create your parabolic movement, all right? Retracement parabolic to no point of return. Basically, the point of infinite where we cannot reach, and then we're going to be turning back around and hitting your golden pocket, all right? For that, we need a little bit more action. We can go to Bitstamp or Binance. Let's go to Bitstamp because I have less things in there. And right now you can see that my Gauss trend has my parabolic movement already calculated. And it's not hand drawn. It's an actual mathematic setup in here. And where we are right now, let me zoom in. Let me also hide everything that I have in here. We are breaking the parabolic trend. Not only that, we already have done that, but look at this. There is another line in here. If you can see this dashed line in here, this is the indicator, the Gauss trend, calculating where is the left out liquidity, which it already knows that is right here and right here. And using that, all right, using the trend line to stick it to where that, let's just say, point of control of liquidity left out, all right? And based on that, it creates you a trend line. This is the trend line that ultimately was going to dictate whether we're going to the bear market or we are going to 180, 170, 200, 300K, all right? So that is why it's so important. I started also talking about the retracement. We knew this was coming. And one more thing. Let me just Control C here a lot, all right? And let's just leave the indicator drop. All right, so what's going to happen if we follow along, for example, I know this movement in here. Let's just go for down, range down, range down. Where are we hitting? Somewhere. First, let's try to look for our Fibonacci. Our Fibonacci based on liquidity is going to be somewhere around here. So let's draw that line where it hits to our trend line. What line is that? 103. Once again, the same numbers common to float. 100K is not out of the questions. Are we going to hit it? I don't know, guys. I don't know. But if you're looking for a re-entry that really is worth it, look at your 100K and set your stop loss, because if we lose the 100K, we're breaking the parabolic equation and basically crumbling back down to the 50% or golden pocket retracement. And let's do that out of the very base to the very top. For me, let's go for the known point to the predicted point, and then where do we have our 30% retracement? Well, I don't have it here. I need to add it there. I love the 30% retracement. Our 30% retracement, it is at 90K. There we go. Now our golden pocket, it's going to be at 50 or 60K. And based on that, this is what I'm calling for bear market lows. All right. Hear me out today. Record it, set it in stone, and come back and throw it on my face once we hit these areas. All right. So there's one more thing in here. 60 or 55. All right. if we have the whole run and we turn on our money flow POC, where is it? Our money flow POC, 33K. Are we gonna get to 33K? I don't know. I think that's a far reach, but definitely 50, 60K, it's a possibility. Not only that, look at your liquidity left behind. Look at right here. We have a high order block at 80, between 84 and 74. Another one between 69 and 59. All right. So that's what I got on Bitcoin. Can we still go higher? Yes. But how much or how long do we have to go higher? Here's another equation that we need to take into consideration. And don't worry, I'm not gonna go full nerd today. I promise that. Let me just get rid of these things in here really quickly. All right, perfect.
I like
So
when you go full nerd.
Thank you, my friend.
You can go half nerd. It's still good.
Perfect. Let's go half nerd then. The point of breaking the parabolic trend, and here's the previous parabolic trend that I was very scared of, was this one. You see how this parabolic trend here, guys, indicated me that our top would have been somewhere around 118. But this is why I think that despite we're coming back down, this is not the end of the bull run. It is because we broke the parabola, and we still respected the trend line that was there at that time. So we had a new low on that trend line, and we broke to the upside. This is what it needs to happen. Let me zoom in here. All right, let me Control-C a couple of drawings in here. Perfect. And we need to range down or range sideways to hit the trend line or very close to the trend line. Once again, 100K, and then bounce with strength out of that zone. So just be aware of that, all right? That this needs to happen for then the next run up, for a stable next run up and not a blow off top, all right? So just saying, I think we need that correction. That's why I'm so excited to see this correction. All right. That's why I'm so happy that start breaking down the nervousness that I had in the markets, right? Because remember, infinite, it's unsustainable. We need to range out to break the parabolic and recalculate a new parabolic trend. All right. So that mathematically speaking, that's what it needs to happen on this market model. So other than that, let's go to the fun stuff very quickly. I promise it's not going to be taking me that longer. Ina, I'm looking for not that weekly, on the 4 hours. All right. Looking for that long. In fact, we already should be already to a long. We're bouncing out of that dynamic reactor. Be very careful because we can still move to an outside. That's why I have a stop loss. All right. But if you're looking for a long, that's why I mentioned at the very beginning of the show, I'm long in Ina, not long in not quite there yet long in TON, but short in TON from Friday, and LDO looking to long it, but it's not there yet. Why? Because we're not on dynamic reactor. Let it load for a second. Here it goes. And whenever you want, come on, take your time. It's not that we're running out of time. Trading view. All right, perfect. So I think we can still get here. Let's wait for that flip of the ribbon right down there, and that's gonna be your go for your long entry. So far, let me move it and adjust that possible long entry. Other than that, Alex, what do you think? And we're running out of time. Would you like to make a closure comment or trade?
Yeah, we're pushing up into that area, right? So now it's like, can it make a higher low and continue out, right? That's the thing. Like, obviously the move has happened, so we'll see if it does want to continue. If not, for now we are clearly at an area of rejection. So will it continue to push? 117 is going to be the one to reclaim. So we'll see how far it gets. Obviously coming back and reclaiming some of that fair value gap. So I'd just be patient right now. Monday, false move. We'll see which way it wants to go coming into Tuesday. And then I think everything's kind of pointing towards, is it Jackson Hole on Friday? I think we got Jerome Powell speaking on Friday. So everything's looking towards there. So be patient. It's Monday, and we'll see you guys tomorrow.
Perfect. Love it, guys. Guys, thank you so much for joining. And as Alex mentioned, see you guys tomorrow.